This is the community briefing involving the fatal shooting of Mr. Deon K. involving a uniformed police officer on Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020, in the 200 block of Orange Street Southeast. All viewers should be aware that this contains graphic content of a fatal shooting. The Metropolitan Police Department's model use of force policy and training emphasize de-escalation, proportionality, and reasonableness. Above all, MPD recognizes the sanctity of human life and that any loss of life is a tragic outcome for a family and a community. Since December 2016, all patrol officers are required to wear body-worn cameras. On Wednesday, September 2nd, 2020, at approximately 3:49 p.m., uniformed MPD officers were in the area of the 200 block of Orange Street Southeast to investigate a man with a gun. Upon arrival, the officers approached individuals in a parked vehicle. Mr. Deon K. exited the vehicle and began to run on foot. Officers pursued Mr. K on foot. An officer observed Mr. K brandish a firearm, and subsequently the officer discharged his service weapon once, striking Mr. K in the chest.
Don't move! Don't move! Don't move! Don't move! Toss it down there! Toss it down there! Hey, shots fired! Shots fired! Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. I'm looking for the gun. He's up there. I did. Over me. Where? Yeah, where's the? Hey. Me canvas. Where? Where? Down this way? He threw it. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Is anybody outstanding?
One this way. But I gotta find it. is it? Hey, I got it. He's got a do-rag on his head. Black male, do-rag on his head, 5'4", 100 pounds, wearing a black shirt. I got it right here.
Do we think he has a gun?
I don't know. This is the one that he was holding.
You good?
I'm good. I'm involved.
When the video is brought to slow motion, you can see Mr. K brandish a firearm in his right hand. Mr. K's handgun was recovered by the Department of Forensic Sciences and taken as evidence. Officers provided first aid until DC Fire and EMS transported Mr. K to a local hospital where he died. As of September 3rd, 2020, this incident is pending review by the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia and the Metropolitan Police Department's Use of Force Review Board.
All right, everybody, welcome to an impromptu stream. Been working on the big mental health stream I'm doing tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. We will be joined by a couple of my mental health professionals, which I'm beyond excited for that stream. This broke overnight. Actually, coincidentally, I went to CNN to see if I saw anything about it, and I didn't see anything about it, and I was very disappointed by that. So it kind of motivated me to hop on and do an impromptu early stream, afternoon stream. Hello, welcome. Thank you, Paulo, for being a new sub. Thank you, Adam, NC Tyrant Hunter, Taco Josh, M Star Media, Johnny D. Welcome, everybody. CFW. What do we think? What do we think about the shooting? What do we think about what happened? It's always a, you know, he was 18 years old. It's such a touchy subject. I'm gonna go. Actually, the mayor is live right now. No Name, hang out with me backstage. I'm gonna bring the mayor up live.
I can't hear you.
I know the mother of Deon K has been very vocal since this. Is there a message that you have to her?
Well, certainly we are very sorry for her loss. We know that she lost her son, and unfortunately, I'm sure that she's going to be reliving that moment, and she has our condolences.
And just another quick question. I know, last night, this morning, the protesters obviously in front of your house. Is there a reason why you didn't simply just come out and address them?
I am at home with my 2-year-old daughter, and she's my first priority. Yes.
Rosa, could you give us your thoughts on Governor Hogan giving a green light for phase 3 in Maryland?
My big, and I haven't, Mark, spent any time really analyzing the governor's statement or where they are in Maryland since yesterday. You do know, however, we're a porous region, and what happens in the counties right around the district will impact our experience with COVID. So it is a concern of ours. Our priority is getting kids back to school. And so we're very focused on watching our numbers and containing the virus. So come the first week, or was that the second week of November the 9th, our kids will be able to go back to school. So as concerned, and we know when that happens, that the rest of the economy can really open. Businesses can really open. People can really come back to the downtown. And I think for us, we don't want to think about large entertainment venues where we know there's super spreading activity opening before schools.
And if I could get one more in, could you tell us your reaction, one, to the DC Faces report and recommendations, and then two, can you explain why at first it had federal recommendations, and then after the White House and Secretary of Interior blasted the recommendations that was then taken out of the report?
Well, I don't know that I agree with your chronology. In fact, I think it's off. But my expectation of the report was that it would not include any recommendations on federal buildings. And when I saw the final report, and I could see immediately how its recommendations could be easily misconstrued or purposely misconstrued. So we removed it. I spoke to the chairs and asked them to stay focused on local DC.
Why didn't the chairs know that in advance? In July, co-chair Reyes.
They're getting away from the topic. They're getting away from the topic they were at. So let me they're talking about the federal properties with the protests that are going to happen, but it's kind of topical, but not kind of topical. I do want to talk about the reaction last night. I do want to talk about the protest last night. Open panel, everybody join up. Let me kind of play the protest, and then I'll bring people up that are waiting backstage. So everybody, please feel free to come on up backstage. Big protest last night in Washington, D.C. Let's check that out now.
The next time they kill one of us, we killing their ass back. When I say his name, you say Deon K. Say his name. Deon K. Deon K. Deon K. Face, baby girl, you had enough. You want to join this side? Yeah. You want to join this side? You want to join this side? You can see it all in your face, baby. You can see it all in your face. You tell them, sis.
All right, so there it is. There's some protests. There's some things going on. I do want to kind of catch people up. We're getting a rush of people hopping in. There was a shooting last night. 18-year-old Deon K was shot and killed by police. Protests are happening in Washington right now because of it. DC police, let me blow this up so I can kind of catch everybody up to what's going on. It's already blown up. Great. DC, we have a poll going on asking if the shooting was justified. Exclamation point yes or exclamation point no. That's how you vote. DC, the police shot and killed 18-year-old Deon K in Congress Heights Wednesday afternoon. The shooting occurred around 4 p.m. in the 200 block of Orange Street Southeast. Police say officers arrived to the scene around 4 p.m. to investigate a man with a gun, and police found a group of people in and around a vehicle. Upon spotting the police, 2 individuals fled on foot. Police say K pulled out a gun while being pursued on foot, and an officer fired and wounded him. K was pronounced dead after arriving at the hospital. 2 officials who viewed the body camera said it shows K pulling a gun from his waist, which we did see a gun in his hand, which led the officers to fire, appearing to hit K in the chest. In a news conference, DC Police Chief Pete McNewsham declined to comment on why the officer shot K while he was running away, saying it would be improper to speculate what happened before a thorough investigation happened. There is more clarity should come when DC police release the BWC, the footage, which we just saw, the body cam footage. It just released minutes ago, and we just got it up. As part of the DC Council's emergency police reform legislation passed in June. DC police must release the footage from the body camera of the shooting. We already went over that. Within 5 days of the incident, they released it in less than 24 hours. We just played the body cam footage. More clarity should come from the body cam. The footage, protesters took to the streets last night and early this morning to demand justice for Kay and major reform within the DC Police Department. Last night, a group of demonstrators gathered outside the 7th District Police Policing just hours after the shooting, and early this morning, they had a lot of protesters gathered outside of the mayor's house. We saw the mayor respond to a question about why didn't she come out and address the protesters. Her response was she has a child at home that's 2 years old, and that's her priority when she's at home. Kind of have to agree with that. But you also have to realize that, that's a difficult topic there as far as protesters arriving at the mayor's house. You want them to be listened to. You want them to be heard. But it kind of comes to a certain point where, at the house, safety, etc. Let me bring some people up, kind of discuss this. Hello, No Name. How are you doing today? You are on mute, girl.
Oh, yes, I am.
Do you have an opinion on this shooting?
I read a Google article. It seems like, he had a gun, right?
He did have a gun. We showed the body cam, the footage of him having a gun. Yep.
If you go bang bang at police, you get dead.
Well, I didn't see bang bang. I did see the bang bang device in his hand, though. Does that matter?
Oh, no. If he has a gun and he is
Right.
no, the have a gun thing is different if they are a Second Amendment person carrying it legally and not threatening. That is different.
Right. So there's footage of the complete body cam. It's 10 minutes long. I kind of want to play it from beginning to end. So because we have a lot of newbies coming in right now that are new. So like No Name, me and you are going to hang back backstage, pass the blunt around, and watch the full body cam. Is that cool with you?
Or not push the talk.
Well, we can just or do that. But, all right, so let me play this body cam. It's 10 minutes long. It's from the initial call to the incident. I want to play everything, and I want an open panel. I want everyone to hop on the panel after watching the full body cam. Is that okay? All right. I'm going to hop myself backstage as well as you. So let's start this from beginning to end. It's 10 minutes and 53 seconds. Let's see what the hell happened to Deon K. Wait for the volume to turn on. Usually there's no volume with body cams at first. As we know, hello Tristan. Hello, hello Southern, hello Jeff, hello Johnny, hello Bama, hello Taryn, hello Bird, hello two birds in there, Liberty Bird and a Stall Bird. Hello to both. Audio is about to turn on with this body cam, so everyone hang on. Breaking news impromptu stream, 18-year-old Deon K shot and killed by police last night. Under investigation, protests and riots have began. This is the second police shooting that has been well documented within a week, within a couple days. Wisconsin being the first one. Audio still not on for the body cam, so Sancho will hang with you until this. 4 p.m. Taco Josh. I will be his guest on Taco Josh. Everyone, please subscribe to Taco Josh. Josh, if you want to put your command on your channel. Get a lot of Sancho today. This show, I'll be over at Taco Josh doing a one-on-one interview. And then I'm doing my big mental health stream at 11 p.m. with several mental health professionals joining me for this panel. think once contact's made, that's when the audio gets turned on. Because we did see a clip of the audio before this, so they finally. Here we go. Let's break it down.
Don't move! Don't move! Don't move! Don't move!
He tossed it down there. He tossed it down there.
Hey, shots fired. Shots fired. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. I'm looking for the gun. He's up there. I did. Where? Yeah. Where's the? Hey. Me canvas. Where? Where? Down this way? He threw it. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Is there anybody outstanding?
One this way. But I gotta find it. Where is it? Hey, I got it. He's got a do-rag on his head. Black male, do-rag on his head, 5'4", 100 pounds, wearing a black shirt. I got it right.
Do we think he has a gun?
I don't know.
I don't have
This
the
is the one
ability
you
to
told.
slow down the shooting, and some people are offended
You good?
by the
I'm good.
shooting.
I'm involved. I'm the only one involved. Okay.
One time.
Dispatcher, be advised. In reference to this fire, we have an individual still outstanding. He's going to be a black male, about 5'4", wearing a black t-shirt. Last seen run towards 2900 block of 2nd Street. Hey, firm, we're going to have a weapon recovery, but it's a possibility that he might be armed as well. You good?
I'm good, bro. Yeah. We got to secure this too.
Can we have a union rep response to the scene? Look, until union rep gets you, you don't say anything
I'm good.
to
I'm
anyone.
done, man. I'm good. We got to make sure this is.
I got you.
Right.
You may have take a seat. I got it. Take a seat. Sit right there.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm right here. I'm good. Until this is over, I'm good.
There's gonna be 2 weapon recoveries.
He's got one too?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hey, firm. Is he a juvenile?
I don't know. I don't know if he is. I don't know if he. I mean, I think he was like a year ago, I think. He ran down. He cut the corner.
I mean, at this point,
Yeah.
we got to do what we got
Yeah,
right now.
I know.
Hey! Oh, hold on.
I'm good. I'm gonna put the lookout out. I hit my radio, my button.
Don't worry about it. What do you need?
Hey, direct to Falcon. The lookout for the one outstanding. It's going to be a black male. Is approximately 5'3" to 5'5". He's thin-built. He had a wrap over his head, and he was last seen running from 200 Orange over to what's that? 2nd Street.
2900 block of 2nd Street towards Malcolm X.
No, this is from the one involved. See you back shape.
Huh?
See you back shape.
Don't worry about it right now. Just go sit down. I got it. Don't worry. Have a seat right there. I know you're worried about everything that's going on. Don't worry. People are taking care of everything else.
All right. Hey. Yeah.
I gotta get in the car.
Hey, Sarge, I'm good.
You're good.
Just tell me where to go. You don't have to hold on. I'm good.
Go ahead.
I'm good.
You get a car for me.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Back on the side. Come on.
This one?
Come on, this way.
Okay. I'm good, sir.
Get a car for me on the side.
Comes over there.
Camera's off. Turn the camera off.
I got a little problem with the last part, the turn your camera off part. That was kind of, All right, so everyone wants to see it in slow motion. I kind of, I'm torn, no name, because part of me doesn't. There are people in here that. Hold on, the hell was that? There is a part of me that has a sensitivity side as far as showing this multiple times. I've already showed a man being killed twice, a loss of life being committed twice. But I feel my journalistic responsibility is to break it down in slow motion. Press 1 if you're okay with me breaking down in slow motion. Why would you? Great question, NC. Press 1 if you want me to break down the shooting in slow motion. And press 2. Oh, wait a minute. She's literally showing everybody what she's doing. Press 2 if you think I should not show it in slow motion. So 1 or 2. Are you keeping an eye on the chat for me now?
I just went back. Ooh, I just went back to the YouTubes.
There's a lot of ones. There's a lot of ones. So because there's a lot of ones, because there's a lot of ones, I'm gonna break it down in slow-mo.
Wait, but I have a big question first. If they saw the gun and he dropped the gun, why did it take so long for them to search for it?
Well, that's why the slow-mo is so important, because everything happened at the snap of a dot. It's just so quick that seeing it in slow-mo is pretty important. So
Okay, back to mute.
I'm gonna take the audio off because it's pretty annoying. So this is the slow-mo. They're running towards the suspect. They're running towards the individual, I should say. You know, right. So the way Deon is running is there's 2 officers to the right, as you can see. Deon is running straight towards a police officer. As you can see, his chest is facing the police officer's hand. He does have a gun on his hand. In my opinion, running towards a police officer with a gun in your hand as an 18-year-old. Let's kind of rewind it again and play it throughout. So as we can see, he's running towards him. We see by the pause right there, the left hand, there's a firearm in his left hand. His right arm is free. His left arm is free. And as we can see, the police officer's gun is being raised right there. The individual on the left side has the left arm behind him with a gun in his hand. With a gun in his hand. And when that happens, it gets to the questionable excessive force. And at the end of the day, in my humble opinion, police officers are humans like we are. And the pause that I'm seeing right now could create a police officer. And I think this officer has every right to defend themselves when we're seeing, and I'm going to pause it from this point. And as we can see by that last frame, the suspect, and I don't even want to say the suspect, the individual, I should say, with his left arm in a perpetual motion where he's running towards, is he trying to avoid the officer? Is he trying to run towards the officer? Unless you're a police officer, you really can't determine one or the other. With a gun in your hand, it's a bad combination. And as we can see, the gun is being raised by the police officer. This individual was shot right there, shot in the chest. Gun goes flying. The gun that he was in possession of goes flying. He reaches for his chest. They later recovered the gun. The reason why the gun went from his left hand is there. It is. Actually, you could actually see it in this cam right over here in mid-motion. Right there. You can see the firearm at the top left that was in his hands. I don't know if I can highlight it. There's no way to highlight it. But my mouse is on it right now. Right under Deon's name, right under the E, if you guys can kind of zoom in, press 1 in the chat if you can see the firearm, because that is a really important part of this conversation, is the firearm. He had a firearm in his hands. We saw the video. There is the photo proof of a firearm in this individual's hand who was running towards a police officer, being chased by 2 other police officers. The firearm is being flung. He is flinging the firearm. But in my humble opinion, I believe it was too late. And the end result was him being shot seconds after the firearm was thrown into the grass. He was shot in the chest.
Why did it take them so long to find the firearm?
Jeff, that's because their emotions are going through. They just shot somebody. You got to realize the mental, well-being of a police officer. They're not robots, and something like that. As you can see at the very end, they asked to turn the body cam footage off, which was suspect. But looking at the slow-mo, Jeff, what is your opinion on this whole situation?
Far as justified or not justified?
Correct.
I think that was justified because there's no way he had time to react. It happened so fast, and look, we slowed it, or you did, slowed it down so much to even just try to see the gun. Um, it was a split second decision. I think it was justified. Did it? I don't remember. I guess I got here late. Did the young man die from this?
He was shot in the chest and it was pronounced dead
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
hospital.
I think from my opinion, I don't see how it's not justified. You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Um,
agree,
I mean, it was,
I'm just confused why it took him so long to find the gun.
Well,
but
that,
he slung it. I mean, it's hard to find something that if he's. I mean, it,
he's running in full motion with something in his hand, swinging it into the air. I think the officers locating a gun they did locate the gun. That's all that matters. The biggest question we're having is the justification of the police shooting this individual. There's multiple instances we're looking at a week ago where we're
Yeah.
looking at an unarmed black male. This was not an unarmed black male. This was an armed black male.
I got a problem with them cutting the body cam off. That means they're gonna try to get their story straight. So there's no recollect. You know what I'm saying. He told him to cut his body cam off. Hey, turn that off. That it's a little fishy. That's a little funny. You know what I mean. To turn it off, you would think you wanted to turn it on, leave it on the whole time.
The media, as you know, are doing their spins. The media has uncovered Deon K's Instagram. In your opinion, Jeff, in your professional opinion, because I'm seeking you for advice now, whether you like it or not, you're my third coach. My first coach is Desert, second coach is T. You're my third coach now. Should I play that? Should I play some of the Instagram clips of this individual, of the... I only want to... There's... no name, what are you doing? Okay, good. There's two ways of it here. Showing the other side of it, showing this individual. I don't want to say victim shame him, but I do think it's important to show this individual. Jeff, what do you think?
I mean, you can't. I don't think you can do more harm than he already done to himself.
So,
you know what I mean? He had a firearm. He was running from the police. I mean, people, and I see somebody in the chat say this. I can't remember who said that you don't have, if you are innocent, right, and if you didn't do nothing wrong, you would sit there. Even if that firearm was illegal, right, and all you had to do was just take a weapons charge, you should have stayed your ass, still, throw the gun down immediately. When you heard, you know what I'm saying, not run from the police. And like, hey, I don't hate police. Everybody thinks I hate the police. I don't hate the police.
Right.
I just hate bad police. So yeah, I'm sure, man, it ain't gonna hurt him no worse than he's dead now. So.
This video was released by his friends. So it was publicly released by friends. This was a memorial, and I use the words memorial. I'm not going to play the music because I don't want to get copyright strike, but this essentially was the memorial they played of Deon. Troubling.
Yeah, so to me, that just shows him being a gangster in a gang. They all got weapons, so yeah, he was up to no good.
I don't think this is a George Floyd. I don't think this is an Elijah McClain. I don't think this is a Breonna Taylor. I don't think this is a Michael Brown. I think this is the opposite of that. I think this is
absolutely
complete justification.
Yep.
We have a problem, Jeff. We have riots and protests occurring as we speak over this shooting.
Yeah, I understand. But they're gonna latch on. They already hate the cops, right? And I'm talking about the majority of the ones out there that's protesting. I would say half are just out there for malicious intent, just to just to be out there. Some are out there because of what happened to George Floyd and the rest of the names. You know, and then you got the a certain percentage of them that's out there to do harm to the police and whoever else stands in their way.
Right.
So, you know, it's a mixed bag, but I don't think they should be protesting because of this guy right here. Not at all.
Well, here they are, No Name. They are, this was late last night.
I want to go look for a different sort of car.
I will equate this to a serial killer in a community. The anger of it continually popping up, it's tapping raw emotions. You're not solving this. You're not putting the people who need to be in jail, whether it's a serial killer, etc. And the anger is there. The emotions are there. When you hear the headlines of a police officer shooting an 18-year-old male, you get angry. You get frustrated. And even before reading what happened, even before looking at the body cam was just released an hour ago, by the way. You know, an hour and a half ago. So the body cam was breaking news. Once the body cam dropped, I had to go live. It was impromptu. I just had a plumber at my house, but I had to go live. Well, this is a big deal. So we're looking at the frustration and the anger. I think the protesters are justified, but I also think before the protests happen, I think the full story needs to happen. But who am I to tell you can't protest? You see what the problem is?
I got you there, and
dance for us.
Hang on, Odin. Let me get this out. I'll forget. I think it was already unrest anyway. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they are still protesting because of this incident right here. I'm sure some of them are, right? But I still think there's so much unrest with the black community, actually with all the communities, because you know, I see all types of races out there protesting injustice is what they're protesting, right? So they're going to look at it and you know, throw something else in there and go out there regardless if it's justified or not, because they're already so pissed off at you know, government, police. They just adds fuel to the fire regardless if it was justified or not. What are you doing, Odin? Damn.
Are you on your cell phone, Odin?
At work.
Yeah, I can recognize the cell phone wind. It's okay. I still love you, boo-boo. All right, the floor is yours, Odin.
Nah, I just came up here to see if No Name would show us her shirt.
Oh, my God. Can we get serious here?
Yeah, no doubt.
Serious. Can we put our thinking cap on for once, Odin?
No, it hurt my head. Yeah, I do see.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Good.
It sounded like my name.
No. Legally, you're not supposed to hear what he says. Jeff and I have already served you those papers, No Name. Legally, you're not supposed to listen to what Odin says. His freedom of speech does not matter. He lives in a different world. He lives in Jupiter. He's a reptilian, so we're not even going to listen to him, No Name. Okay, boo-boo?
Oh, wait, no. I want to hear it. I don't have to respect it.
Right, but like, you know what happens when verbal diarrhea happens? If he opens his mouth, it's verbal diarrhea, and I want you to put a raincoat on before he opens his mouth. Do you have a raincoat?
Have a good one, Taco.
I already derailed the conversation. Damn.
Do you have a raincoat?
Oh, hold on, El Sanchez. You asked my opinion on this riot, protest, whatever the hell they want to call it.
That's what I want to know. Go ahead.
Do they have the right to peacefully protest? Hell yeah, they should protest. They should join hands together as one nation and fucking protest around the White House and fucking beat on drums and say, hey, we want equality. We want cops stop fucking killing us.
Wow,
Or
that was a racist comment there, Odin. Beat on drums? Come on, man.
No,
Oh,
beat
wait,
on,
no, the fighting drum
hell,
corps.
beat on drums, beat on each other's heads, whatever. Make noise, walk around the building, pound on something, shout, scream, say, hey, we want to be heard instead of going out
Are
there.
you okay with them going to the mayor's house, Odin?
Fucking go around the house, circle it, and pound on whatever, trash cans, whatever, and shout, we want our freedom.
As long as it's peaceful.
Yes,
Don't go for a riot.
peaceful.
I know the public official thing is there and you're voted in by the people, but I just think with any line of work, your personal residence, unless you work from home and you have a business at home and you allow people to come to the home, I just think ethical, the private sanctuary of your own home should be a sanctuary. And I know you have the right to be on a public sidewalk.
Protecting other people.
Here's the problem with that. Mayors get a house, probably get a car, get allowance for this and that. Fuck that. That's my house. That's my car you're driving. Fuck it. I'm going to protest around your damn building if you like it or not.
It's privately owned, though, on private property.
I don't give a fuck. I'll stay on the sidewalk and circle around the building all the time.
Right, but you can't go in the house.
Fuck it, I can do that.
Private property. Only her own.
Right, you can't go in the house and like make yourself a sandwich, though. Like a lot of these auditors can go in there and film and grab brochures in a police station because it's publicly funded. You can't go in someone's mayor's house and grab a freaking peanut butter and jam sandwich.
No, I'm not saying go in. I'm not saying go in their house. Stay to the public sidewalk where you have more of your freedom, more of your rights.
Right. Okay.
More justice on your side, and fucking just circle the building and say we want freedom, we want justice.
Right.
Keep it peaceful.
So I'm gonna slow mo this while you guys comment.
Can I say something right quick about that? About what Odin said?
Hear me.
And I'm not trying to disagree with Odin. And I'm gonna bring up Joe Cool. Joe Cool's brought this up to on my panel many times. Peaceful protest does not get anything done, and I tend to agree with him. And I'm not saying go burn, businesses and houses and car lots and none of that, right? I'm just saying peaceful protest. They've been doing that for years, and it gets you nowhere. I mean, it absolutely gets you nowhere. Now, should you go to the courthouse and do whatever you need to do there? Go for it. The police stations, go for it. If you mad at the police, take it out on the police. I'm not talking about killing them. I'm not talking about hurting them. I'm just talking about just let them know that you mean business and hire whatever means that is. I'm not, who am I to say? But peaceful protest, I mean, 99% of the time will get you nowhere.
Absolutely fucking nowhere. If you look at my YouTube channel, it's on March Against Monsanto from 2013. My march didn't help at all. We still got GMOs. But the thing is, I showed college students standing in my face telling me they believe GMO is the way to go.
Okay, if you peacefully protest around the White House, doing chants, whatever, and keeping that fucking White House up all fucking night, sooner or later he's going to get tired of it, and he's going to come out or change laws. You got to constantly go around it. Keep them up.
You know what they would do? They would go out there and pepper spray the fuck out of them and shoot them with bean bags and rubber bullets and pepper balls. And then it turns into a not peaceful protest, right? I mean, that's usually what happens.
Then you got the right to sue. Take them to the highest court.
Okay, but what if you have a
people can't do that though? Most people out there can't afford to go sue nobody.
We live in a world 2020 where there are multiple factions and groups out there. There's the Patriot Prayer, there's Antifa, etc., that may or may not be the ones that throw the first punch when it comes to protests turning into riots.
Agreed.
Once the first punch is thrown, law enforcement legally has to become involved. What case do you have there?
No, I agree. As soon as somebody throws a bottle, or does something malicious, I don't have a problem with them coming in. Now you can come in and disperse. That don't mean you got to beat them. I got several videos that I recorded this morning of the damn riot police or whatever you want to call them, the regular police out there beating the crap out of people. I'm talking about punching them in the face.
Right.
And that right there will make them riot even more. You follow me? So maybe there's no solution right now. I mean I don't know. I don't know what the solution is, man. I'm not a politician. That's up to them to figure this shit out.
You know, I think it's evident that we're all flawed, and a lot of us have a temper. The issue is, what is your professional when you have that temper?
Right. Well, they supposed to, you've heard this many times, I'm sure. And so they held to a higher standard. They're not supposed to be out there beating their employer.
Right, but like the stream I'm doing like tonight, the mental health stream, I think a big thing I'm going to get into, because I might do a series on mental health because there's so much to dive into.
Absolutely.
I really think the mental health check on police officers on every 6 months it should be mandatory.
I agree.
We need to have these officers, because I kind of equivalent to, God forbid you work, you don't like to eat meat and you work at a pig place where they're slaughtered and etc. That fucks with you. That will fuck with you mentally. Having to deal on a consistent basis with, you never know what's going to happen every call. You don't know if a simple, noise complaint turns into shotgun being fired through the gun and you're wounded and your life is lost. This is an individual with a firearm in his hand, as the freeze frame shows.
Yeah. Can I add something to that?
Sure.
And I seen you put something cool in Discord. I'm doing a show at 8:00, right? On Jeff is Here Live. Shameless plug there.
Please.
And mine's about addiction. Now, I bet. I venture to say that there's a big percentage of these law enforcement officers that are addicted to something. Either it be adrenaline, steroids, you know what I mean, painkillers, heroin. It don't matter. I guarantee you that there's a big percentage of our government that are strung out and addicted. And it's a sickness, guys. It's something you don't try to wake up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be addicted today."
So you're live at 8 p.m. I'm live at 11. So I think it's a good back to back. I think everyone can't complain tonight. I think they're good. I think they're set. I think it might be multiple bowls of popcorn tonight. I mean, that's a couple hours of jam packed content with Jeff and me, and it's good, Jeff, because I could throw it right back at you. Your show tonight can be a series. Your show tonight could be 5 or 6 episodes. There's so much. There's so many addictions you can touch upon.
Absolutely.
God forbid we're having a serious discussion and Odin has to drop off because we're not talking about something funny. Sorry.
Yeah.
I digress. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have to go do something. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
He was in like.
Don't defend him. No name. Don't defend him. No name.
And you got a good point. You got a good point. And I probably could get several different days of discussion out of that, because I mean, it's anything. You can be addicted to a lot of stuff. I mean, you can be addicted to sex.
Mm-hmm.
You can be, it's all types of addictions, man. So you got a good point there. Harry Ball says I'm wrong.
Come on up, Harry Balls. He's working right now. He's already admitted he's a law enforcement official. I'm actually working on a Leo stream this week with all Leos hosting it, so I'm excited about that. Like ladies' night, I'm gonna have a Leo night where law enforcement will be hosting the show and discussing topics like this. I'm going to be giving them a voice. Like, are you okay, No Name?
I want to ask NC Tyrant Hunter something.
Call him Jeff.
Oh yeah.
I only have 9 days until I want to go to that protest. And you would think it's a really tame protest, but people are very upset about this thing.
What thing are you protesting? No name.
The big ripoff, the first big ripoff. It's your dick, it's your choice.
What?
Okay.
And I want to go protest in front of the Beaumont Hospital, which has the most circumcisions in Michigan. And I was sent there for an ultrasound.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let me have the ultrasound and cross off the things that said, "Ooh, if I got ultrasound, they could do anything they wanted to me."
Right. So that's like tonight. If I don't even know if I'm doing an interview tonight. I think Jeff is I don't know what he's planning for topics tonight. But the one thing I will say about protests is there are so many things that you can protest and speak of and advocate for, and never think that your voice is not important, because your voice is absolutely important. So never go into something whether or not maybe I shouldn't protest. Like the key of protesting is multiplying, not just being one person, being multiple people. Part of multiplication is educating.
People there, but it was super scary last time.
Right.
Doctors and nurses and whoever still in their scrubs with their badges were driving by saying bad things.
It's all your fault. Right. Can we transition to back to what we were discussing? But I definitely I have done protests myself. I have had a megaphone. I have screamed for 2+ hours. I have rented a school bus to get to a state house. Trust me, protests are something that needs to be done more of. I just think the issue with not the issue, but the focus of protesting now is we're protesting a hell of a lot more on reactory emotion than we are this has been a law for 5 years. We need to change it. This just happened 3 hours ago. I'm pissed off. I'm mad. Let's protest. And when you get your feelings involved to the point of breaking and like snapping, that's where the violence occurs. That's when the right versus the left occurs. Pro versus anti occurs, and that's where it becomes more problematic. Jeff, do you agree with that logic?
Yeah, you can't you can't rush into your emotion. Your emotion gets the best of you on a good day. So on a bad day, then it'll overtake you. It'll make you think some crazy stuff. I mean, I know I'm not using big words or whatnot, but
it all
means the same.
I've been confused with conspiracy theorists so many times.
Right, but let's stick to the topic. No name. Fear. Do you have a fear?
I'm afraid to go protest.
All right. Well, I don't want you to be afraid to go protest, because if you're doing something legal and you're a law-abiding citizen, you should never be afraid to do something.
Oh, and Royal Oak, Michigan. I used to live there.
Yep,
it's usually pretty safe.
Great. So you're good to go. Don't be afraid to do anything. I think you need a little bit more confidence in your abilities, and if you acquire more people with a similar passion and quest for change as you, I think you'll be good. All right. So can we kind of shift focus a little bit? I want to talk about fear of police. I will be upfront and honest and entertain the fact that this individual had a fear for police. I want to entertain the fact that this individual was scared. I want to entertain the fact that this individual wanted to run away from police because he was afraid. And that is a common notion here.
Well, I'm sorry. I want to disagree because I don't think he had a fear of police. I think he's got a fear of going to prison. There's a difference. You can fear. I don't. This man here, he's got his guns. He had a machine gun. Several of his buddies, is undoubtedly in a gang or a group. Maybe not a gang, but a group. We've seen the video of it with all of his, buddies with his guns and stuff. I'm almost positive he don't fear the police. He fears what police do. He feared that he would go to prison. Thus, that's why he was running. Right? That's my opinion. Now I could be wrong, but that's what I think.
What do you think, Onan?
I think many people that have warrants or rap sheets will be silly.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with Jeff. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry, not Jeff. It's NC Tyrant Hunter.
That's Jeff. He's the same person.
Well, yeah, I would, but I'd really like to be addressed as NC Tyrant Hunter, because that way everybody knows who she is speaking to.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know. Well, a lot of people know me as Jeff, but others that don't have a clue, that I am Jeff. Actually,
really,
I'm really face blind and voice blind, but I seem to remember you.
Yep.
You made a big difference in my life. I mean, I watch you a lot. I may not say much. I give you likes and I give you watch time.
Well, thank you.
He's a very good person to talk to. So, no name. I don't know if you've met NC Tyrant Hunter before, but here he is for you to say hello to.
Yeah, we've met on my other channel.
But if I'm not going to acknowledge your other alias, like I at one point was Steve Lancaster. I mean, if you want to play that game, I was Steve Lancaster at one point.
Right.
So, there you go.
Oh, good.
I think I should start a YouTube channel as a totally different alias. And maybe I should be an auditor or a cop watcher.
There you go.
I already have cop watchers willing to take my videos and like blur it out, and so my face isn't shown. So I kind of want to do it. Like the adrenaline rush is there, and like you always hear.
Hey, that's the only time. Let me. And I know we getting off topic, but let me just say this: that's the only time I don't hurt is when my adrenaline's flowing, right? And it does when I do audits and stuff, man. It really does flow. Not on every one of them now. It just when it gets intense. It's the only time that I absolutely 100% don't have any pain. So I can say honestly, I'm addicted to adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel bad. I was addicted to Vicodin for a couple of years.
Well, no name. That's a different show. That'll be at 8:00 tonight on Jeffrey Show Live.
Yeah, that's actually for a quick plug.
I got doctor shopping. They kept telling me it's my boobs and my typey job that was killing me.
And hey, what do you think about that thumbnail right there? Pretty cool, huh?
You have any comments on the thumbnail?
I made that myself.
I want everybody.
I still do the alcohol, but I got off the drugs. I don't even have an aspirin in the house.
You smoke a drug every day, no name.
Oh wait, no, this is weed.
Yeah, that's a drug.
That's a plant.
It was still considered a drug.
Yeah, federally. All right, so let's bring in Harry Balls because he did disagree with Jeff, and I want to bring him on.
Be quiet.
All right, go ahead, Harry.
Hello, guys.
Go ahead. Floyd's yours, sir.
Can't hear you. Kind of disagree with Jeff on was about cops being addicted and stuff. I work with many state, local, federal, different agencies throughout my area and in the South. And there is a problem with certain alcohol abuse, yes. Cops do have a higher divorce rate than any other profession out there. But as far as being addicted to narcotics, alcohol, it's not as prevalent as Jeff seems to think it is.
Well, I think my statement was there's a percentage of them, and I don't know if I gave a percentage. I mean, it would be crazy. It would be what's the word? There's got to be, and I know they got to take piss tests every once in a while. I don't know how often because I don't work in law enforcement or nothing. But you'd be naive not to think that they was on some type. Some of them, not all of them.
No, you're right. The statement you made was a very
percentage. Yeah, maybe a lower percent. I'm sorry, a lower percentage. But it's got to be out there, man.
Absolutely, and I agree with that. But you had made the statement that it's a very high percentage. I think someone told me there's like 900,000 officers throughout the U.S. I'd be surprised if that percentage was higher than 4 or 5% of people actually abusing narcotics. Yes, we take piss tests on a semi-regular basis. Usually it's very, very random. Alcohol abuse is, I will agree, alcohol abuse is prevalent. You know, in I don't know if I agree with psychoevaluation. I agree with psychological help as far as how to decompress after situations.
Yes. Yes,
You
I agree
know,
with that.
that's the one thing. You know, you put a badge on, you're supposed to have you're supposed to be bulletproof. The misconception a lot of people on the panel have is you have to wait for that guy to draw that gun up on you. This happened within probably 3 or 4 seconds. This kid's running at you with a gun in his hand, bringing his arm around. You
No, the
don't have,
people on the panel here, I'm sorry, but I think all of us on the panel agreed that it was justified.
It was justified.
there
Yeah.
was a few people saying that he was told he dropped the gun.
Yeah, the chat, you mean?
Yeah, in
Oh,
chat. I'm sorry.
okay, yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
said panel.
Yeah,
That's-
chat.
You're right. You're right. In chat.
Yeah, I mean, I have the freeze frame specifically to him holding the gun
Right.
for 2 reasons. A, he was holding a gun, and B, he was attempting to throw away the gun, but I think it was too soon. It was just too far gone. I
Right.
think
I mean, the cops don't anticipate that as he's bringing the gun around to shoot him. And actually, one of the frames,
Absolutely.
it looks like he's stiffened his arm up to
Yep.
brace to shoot the officer.
Yep.
You know, and the cop doesn't have to tell you to drop the gun. If this picture alone,
Yeah.
that kid's moving with the gun, he can shoot you and light you up.
you don't know what direction he's going. You don't know if it's
Exactly.
you don't know if it's being released or directed towards you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the one thing I would challenge anyone on the panel, anyone on the chat, is go to your local law enforcement and ask them to put you through some scenarios. A lot of them have what's called FATS machine. That's old school FATS machine. They've upgraded. It's like a big video game now. But have them put you through scenarios, shoot, don't shoot scenarios. And they do it for a lot of communities anymore, where they'll actually let you use the same equipment they use, give you a duty belt and everything, and give you scenarios of shoot, don't shoot, and how you're supposed to justify it. I challenge anyone to do that who's never been in a situation where someone's running at you with a gun or someone's coming at you aggressively.
Yeah, I've seen some of that, like, well, you know, when they got the cutouts, you know, that they come across. You see it in movies a lot.
Right.
They come across, you know, either it's, you know, it pops up either as a woman with groceries,
right,
or a bad guy, you know. And I don't see split second decision, man. I don't see how they do it. I really don't see how they determine in that fast on if it's a threat or not. So
right.
You know,
and the technology,
he could have had a vape machine. He could have a vape pen like I use, and it's actually shaped like the clip off of a gun, right? The bottom half, the grip,
right?
And if he'd have had one of them, they'd have probably still shot him.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was probably still, it'd have been justified. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I mean, there's actually cell phone cases out there shaped with a gun handle on it.
Right,
and,
right.
You know,
Oh, wait, the freeze frame you've had up so long just shows he's got the aggressive stance and he's coming at you.
That's what I said.
Yeah. But like I said, and regarding the cutouts you're talking about, Jeff, like I said, the technology is much better. They actually put in your room with almost like a 180-degree view. It's almost like a simulator. And they actually have role players with like a laser gun, and you're supposed to respond, shoot, don't shoot. And it's
Right.
very realistic. You know, and depending on how the situation unfolds, you make your determination. And a lot of people just they don't understand. Everyone's all, and I've had this conversation with Sancho many times about qualified immunity. Qualified immunity means nothing in a situation like this. Qualified immunity only protects you in civil lawsuits. What protects you in situations like this is a case called Graham versus Connor, and it's what a reasonable officer would do in that same situation, basically.
Right on. You know what, Harry Balls? I don't like the name too much, but hey, whatever. I don't like saying Harry Balls, to be honest with you.
HB.
Yeah, maybe there you go, HB. I would like, and you did say you was in law enforcement, correct?
Yes, sir.
I would like to have you join my panel one night when we're talking about
Look at you. What you
other
no name, and you want to take HB from me?
right. No, I'm not. I just want to borrow him, man. It's all good. Because I'd like to talk about, you know, different situations, you know, especially about auditing or cop watching or
Absolutely.
and get the officer's point of view
Absolutely, man. I have no problem with that.
Just as long as it's after my Leo stream, because HB,
Right.
I kind of need you to be the leader of that and kind of host it, if that's okay with you, with the two other Leos on it, just because I think you have the most hosting experience with your experience with Massel Report.
Sure, no problem.
All right, good, thank you. Just as long, because I'm like kind of getting their schedule now with him working right now and how busy he is being in
I'm not saying no time soon. I'm just saying, next, little bit or.
Right.
We have a lot of Leos. We got a bunch of Leos on here. Matt is going to be on the show with HB. And Officer Oak, I'm working on getting him out of retirement for one night only to do that Leo stream as well. And I'm really excited about giving these Leos the opportunity to have the floor. And it's up to them whether they want to do open panel or not. I think there's so much for them to discuss. And having their open panel having the floor would be great, HB.
No doubt. It sounds like a good time, man. I mean,
Well, I mean, Sancho and I were talking the other night about this. I'd love to do a panel with us, a couple other law enforcement officers, and a couple of auditors that you can actually talk to and not be talked over. No, I agree.
Yeah, Jeff would be one of those short. I don't want to say short list, but Jeff is actually at the top of the list because not only his host experience and the fact that he does panels, and he's big on talk one at a time, and he jumps on people who don't do that.
Right.
But I also think he has the experience as far as NC Tyron Hunter with his experience as an auditor and how reputable he is in that field. I think he would definitely be at the top of the list. I mean, Jeff and I can kind of go back and forth on who else we think may be good for that. I think the first half of what the Leo stream can be discussing current events and topics, and then the second half can be bringing on a couple guests like a Jeff and a couple.
I've seen Jeff's videos. I don't always agree with them. Like I said, I don't agree with the temperament, but I mean that's again his right, and I'd love to discuss that with him and stuff. I got no problem with that.
See, my channel is a pro police, pro auditing.
Yeah, again, HB. I do not hate police. I don't hate them.
No, I understand that.
I hate the attitudes that they have. I hate the ones that don't know about us being able to film. And I had when I first started, I was a little more agitated, I guess, or
animated,
more ballsy, or however you want to put it, right? I've since calmed down a lot, which I don't get out there and do much anymore because of my health, and but I'm hoping to get back out there and do some more. But I'm still learning, man. Even though I got over a couple of hundred videos, I learn every time I go out there, man. It's crazy.
Hold on. She said this once before, and I'm going to call her out on this. Jeff, your comments on that?
Oh, damn.
Apparently her husband's doing it wrong.
I would have to disagree, CFW. You must not be doing it right.
Jeff and I totally see eye to eye on that one.
Right.
I don't know what your husband's doing, but he's not hitting it right.
It's not going. Something's not working, CFW.
Hey, you need to do more foreplay. It sounds like. Yeah.
You need to talk to No Name, and I'm actually doing a pillow talk stream where I'm having women come on and talk about sexual.
Wow.
So I had that happen a week ago, impromptu, and everybody loved it.
Right.
Everybody loved it. It's a wide variety channel, Jeff, as you can tell.
I got you, baby. Hey, you're doing a good job, man. You're top notch with that stuff.
It's great that we're having a Leo on, and like everybody loves it, and everybody wants to talk to him. He's kind of like a new hot chick on the block. You know what I'm saying? I love that.
I feel kind of sexy all of a sudden.
You should.
Damn.
So kind of walk us through what you would have done from beginning to end with this body cam and this incident that we just showed with the Deon K. Kind of walk us through, the 911 call where there was a man with a gun that was reported. They did have prior experience with this individual when he was 17, which is a year prior. So they knew who this individual was. One search of his Instagram, you'll see what you saw with the amount of firearms being exhibited. But kind of walk us through as a law enforcement officer what you would have done differently, if anything, HB.
And I got a question too. Why would they cut off the body cam footage?
Yeah.
I mean, let
me answer Jeff's question first. Keep in mind that at this point, you don't know if it's a criminal investigation against the officer or against the kid. Okay, he just shot and killed somebody. even when it's a justified homicide, even when it's a justified shooting, it's still classified as a homicide. That officer has legal rights still. So you have to protect his rights until you determine what is the outcome of this case. That's why they usually turn the officer's body cam off and get him away from the situation. They want to separate him from the situation. They want to separate him from the witnesses around him and isolate him to get his side of the story. That is why the cameras are shut off usually.
But do you understand why I'm asking that question? It's like it's
No, I do.
almost like they have something. They're trying to hide something, so they're going to talk. And hopefully the other officer's body cam was still on.
That's what I was about to say. The other officers, except for the officers interviewing him, their cameras would still be on.
Okay,
because you still have rights.
What I'm saying though, it looks like
right.
to me, just from sitting right here now, I'm quarterbacking, right? I'm from home, but it just seems like he has had something to hide, man. That's all.
Correct. No, I agree. I totally agree. But like I said, then you have to look at the aspect of the cop still has rights as well. He has to be protected as well in that situation until it's done. I guarantee if you FOIA everyone else's body cam, their body cam was still on at that point. They're going to separate that officer. They're going to put that up. They're going to take his gun away from him. They're going to put him in a car. He's going to be taken downtown, or Internal Affairs might respond on the scene, or State Patrol, whoever's going to investigate it, and get his statement. He's protected as well. Now, as far as how I would handle it differently, first off, I would have had a long gun. You have a report of a man with a gun. The one thing people don't understand is a pistol is a defensive weapon, not an offensive weapon. So I want the biggest weapon I can carry with me. I would have a long gun with me. From there on, and this was a question I asked a lot.
Is there? I'm sorry if I don't ask this question, I'll forget it. So that's why I interrupt like I do. But
that's fine.
No disrespect or anything like
that's
that. Can you answer maybe why they didn't have their long guns out if there's a possible threat that armed?
They may not have them. Not all agencies have them.
Okay.
Maybe they were still. I didn't hear the whole 911 call. Maybe they felt they didn't need them. Maybe again, this all evolves very quickly, and it's also preference.
Good answer.
I would personally, I'd rather have a long gun. I want something I can return fire with, and the most damage, quite honestly.
Right on.
As far as how I would handle it differently, the kid, again, this happens within split seconds. And the one question I ask a lot of times, and it doesn't matter to me if you're black, white, yellow, green, in all these situations, and 99% of them, what would have happened had the person never resisted in the first place? It's a very unpopular question. It's a very painful question, but no one ever wants to answer that question. In most of these situations, the person would still be alive. You may not agree with the case. You may not agree with why you're being arrested. You may not agree with why you're being handcuffed. The street's not the place to make that argument.
Right on.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you good.
Yeah, so I mean that's my opinion. This kid here, like I say, he's running at me with a gun. I not to be cold-hearted, I would have done the same thing. I would have lit him up.
Yeah.
Are we bothered by the fact a little bit, and this might be a little controversial move, or you might agree with me. Whenever there's prior shootings, the body cam footages take a little bit longer. This because they knew it would favor their side. This bitch got released within 24 hours. Are you surprised by that, HB?
No, not at all.
Is it because it leaned in the favor of the police? That's why.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say.
Yeah.
Because to everybody, I think to most people, it seems like it's justified. In my opinion, it's justified. So, like, if it wasn't justified, you probably wouldn't. The local news would have said, "Hey, we're trying to get the body cam footage, but we're unsuccessful."
I agree with that. I mean, and I think they're also releasing it much quicker nowadays to try and quell these riots. Right.
That's a good point. To calm them down a little bit, maybe put it out there that it was justified. I don't know if it had the effect that they thought it was going to have, but that's a good point. That's an absolutely good point.
No name. He was trying to finish his sentence, but we did not hear you. Go ahead. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. They only release the body cam footage half the time.
Great as a question for Harry, HB. He dropped the gun when you told him to. Would you still light him up, HB?
No. Like I said, in this case here, the kid's bringing his arm around in a shooting stance almost. And like I said, there was no reason to bring your arm up to drop the gun. When you say drop the gun, you open your hand up, the gun falls to the ground. And from this video, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think some people are assuming that gun the officer found on the grass was this gun. I think they recovered 2 different weapons.
Yeah, the suspect had a gun as well.
Right.
So there was 2 guns.
Right.
And there was I think it was a suspect we saw in the Instagram, the video we first played. That was the second suspect.
Right, but people were saying that this was a gun he threw. I don't think this is the gun that was thrown. This is
a separate gun.
Yes.
This one here that is in his hand is silver. I think the other one was all black.
Black.
Right. Right.
There were 2 different guns.
Right.
Yeah.
And someone tried saying he had a throwdown. This ain't the 70s or the 60s anymore. Cops don't carry throwaway weapons.
Right.
There's too
Right.
much.
I've seen that.
Yeah, there's too much. He dropped the gun when you told him. No, I would not. But I said in this case here, the kids. Yeah, I seen that. I'm just reading the message. I'm sorry. My computer's like a couple seconds behind. But yeah, I mean, this case here, I mean, all he had to do was open his hand to drop the gun. And to me, it looked like the kid was bringing the gun up to shoot the cop or shoot at the cop.
Yeah.
But again, you don't have. Again, back to what I said before. Great Crusaders. Go to your local law enforcement. No matter how much you hate cops or disagree with cops, disagree with what they do, go to your local law enforcement and ask them to put you in some real world scenarios that you want to learn how it's handled and see what they do. Like I said, a lot of agencies anymore will do this where they'll actually let you see. They'll put someone in what's called a red man, and they'll give them a knife or a gun and give you a duty belt and let you handle a situation. They'll tell you it's a domestic violence. How would you handle it? You're enrolled. Go do it now. These things happen so fast, and that's what everyone seems to forget.
Yeah. Split second, that one. I mean, that was crazy. That's crazy fast.
So
exactly.
I am going to do this. Peanut, let's get your thoughts on this, and I'm going to kind of replay it again in slow motion. There's a lot of people asking in the chat what happened. They didn't see.
Right. A recap.
Thank you so much, PCM. I appreciate you. Thank you. Great interview last night. I don't know, for those who did not catch my interview with Pink Camera Magic last night, please check it out. It was awesome. Insightful, entertainment, etc. Pina 411, what's good?
Peanut in the house.
Hey, Jeff, drop your email in private chat, and I'll shoot you an email, buddy.
Hello.
Are you there, Peanut? I saw you. I just can't hear you now. So I'm gonna.
I had my mic on. I'm on the road. I'm at an undisclosed location.
I love that.
So no, I thought it was justified, but I come from it from 2 different angles.
Okay.
You know, 1, I'm a cop watcher, and 2, I've got law enforcement in the family. So I call it a justified shooting.
Okay.
No doubt.
So.
Joe Cool, welcome.
Hey, what's going on? I got to be honest with you. I didn't see the.
That's exactly why we're doing.
Damn! Then shut up, man.
No. This isn't like I skimmed through, but I'm going to give my opinion. Shit.
30 seconds.
I'm not going to say shit.
Joe's keeping his mouth shut, so Joe gets a trophy right now. Let's play.
That's gotta be hard for Joe Cool. Real quick, hold on.
Go ahead.
Real quick. I'm sorry. Great Lake Crusaders. You don't have to point the gun at an officer for an officer to shoot you. Like I said again, this was in a video that happened within 4 or 5 seconds. Then the full speed frame, to me, it looked like the kid was bringing the gun up.
Right.
I could be wrong. I don't know, but that's what it looked like in the video. And this is happening. This kid's running at a cop with a gun drawn on him. Not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, I think you kill a motherfucker then.
All right, so let's play it. I'm actually, Joe, because you're on a cell phone, I'm going to blow it up full screen so you can see it completely.
Thank you. I'll blow it up too.
No, it's already blown up on this end for you for cell phone users. I am going to play. It's going to play regular, then it's going to go slow.
Oh, I just watched this.
Don't move!
He did not have a gun aimed at that cop.
Watching slow motion. Gun. Wait.
That was cool.
All right.
So let me rewind it. Because Joe did what I was afraid he was going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they recovered.
Hold on. Here it is, Joe.
That's how I sound when I'm drunk.
Your thoughts, Joe?
I think you're absolutely correct. I just watched this, and of course, I did what I do, which is fast forward through the bullshit. I saw him get shot. I saw him recover a gun in the grass. I thought it was his gun, but you cats are right. It looked like a gun in his hand. And okay, let me be a devil's advocate here. The guy was running away. The police jumped in front of him. He tried to turn. It's the same way when you.
He was running away from two officers running towards a third. I'm sorry to cut you off, but.
No. I agree. He was running away, and that officer cut him off. I think he was going to try to avoid that officer. I think he was trying to get away. And isn't this the same like what police do? A car's trying to flee, they jump in front of the car and they kill a guy. Well, he could have, he couldn't just fucking. I don't know. The guy had a gun. I'm conflicted.
Joe, if you watch the slow motion video again, buddy, that right arm's coming up and around.
Please, Sancho, I know you don't have a problem doing it. Do it again. Let me see if it come up.
You want me to replay it? Hold on a second.
Yeah. Hey, stop it right where the gun thing, and that way you see the arm coming up. We've seen it several times, Joe, and I think it was justified.
I was going to play an article about the questions about the guns and stuff, but let me see if that's going to play the same thing that I was looking for.
I appreciate you guys telling me this. I hate being one-sided and closed-minded, so I appreciate you guys, and I respect you. If all you niggas say you saw it,
it's important. If you rewind a little bit in the show, I was doing the slow motion breakdown of him actually
consider my position.
Yeah,
I want to know where Great Lakes gets his information. No gun recovered near the body, except for the one in his hand.
No, I just saw. I was just going to show a picture of it, to be honest.
No, I know.
So I'm going to replay it again in slow motion and pretty much do what I did before, because we're getting a rush of new people coming in, and this is a kind of impromptu breaking news stream. I wasn't intending on doing a live until tonight with my 11 o'clock stream about the mental health aspect of it. So let me bring Kevin up as well. So I'm going to replay this in slow motion again. Peanut, drive safe in your trip. Good luck in your audit, what you're doing in your undisclosed location. So I'm going to break this down again in slow-mo.
Joe.
I'm going to break this down again in slow-mo for everyone to see. Again, viewer discretion advised. My heart breaks for a loss of life, but I think this is really important considering there's protests and riots going on as we speak.
Right on, Sancho.
Okay, where's the link to this at?
The link to the slow-mo video?
To the video.
I don't think you talk to Wolflet Blitzer and ask him on air where a link is to something he's playing, but okay. Just saying. I just put it in the chat for everyone to look at, the slow-mo video. Getting out of the car, approaching the suspect. Keep in mind the 911 call was the fact that there was a man with a gun.
Thank you.
We've already played multiple Instagram videos of his public posts of brandishing firearms with multiple other people. He is known to police. They did mention him that he was 17 a year ago. He was an 18-year-old young male. They are approaching the suspect now. I don't even want to say the word suspect because he did have a firearm. So let me rewind that.
He lifted that gun, didn't he?
Let me rewind that for a second to the slow-mo part of it. As you can see right here, Joe. Hold on to whoever's backstage, because I need to break down the slow-mo of this. So as we can see, Joe, right there by this individual's left
He is trying
arm.
to get away, right? First of all, we can agree he was not running toward that cop. He's trying to get away right now.
Yeah, he's trying to do a juke move.
He's running away from the two officers. But
and even the third cop, he's not running toward the third cop right now. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, no, he's trying to do a juke move. He's trying to be like he's on a basketball court.
I think you're right. Or a football juke. Yeah.
Was he running towards the officer? Was it a juke move? It's up in the air. What is not up in the air is the right arm is in motion. His feet are off the ground. The left arm is in a perpetual motion as if he's going to swing a punch, do whatever he can do. But the issue was he wasn't able to swing a punch. He had a firearm in his hand.
Right. He wasn't finna swing a punch from fucking 20 feet away either.
No.
I don't think that's reasonable.
But the arms being back there is a motion of like there being a punch being thrown. UFC has a Superman punch that several fighters use. If this person was in close proximity and if it was a closed fist, you're rearing back the throw. That's what it looks like right here. You know,
I would disagree, but you are absolutely entitled to your opinion. I think that's what it looked like when you're about to throw a juke. I don't think he's going to swing at the officer from 12 or 13 feet away.
No, I don't think so. I think he's bringing the gun around to shoot the officer. And
Yes,
that's what you
that's
anticipate.
more logical.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both arms are behind him. Feet are still in the air.
And he just spotted that cop. He might be about to bust him.
Now the police officer raises his gun. There's eye contact between
eye contact
between the victim and Sue. We know what's going on.
Both are armed.
Even if he was just rearing back to get that gun a fucking good sling down through the damn woods,
right?
It's still justified, because how's this cop gonna know what he's doing?
Agreed, Jeff. Agreed.
Both are armed. Both have adrenaline. Keep those two things in mind.
Yes, Sancho.
I think the adrenaline aspect is something from both points. Anxiety, the whole nine.
Yes.
There's a lot running through both individuals' brains right now.
This looks really justified so far, I gotta say.
Right now we're looking, the juke move everyone has been saying, we're looking at a clear angle from face to chest, as if, they're facing each other from a couple feet away from each other.
I know I'm reading into this, but I'm looking at his face, and it does not look like he's thinking juke anymore. It looked like he's reserved to some different shit here.
Yeah. Oh, shit. This is getting real really quick.
Yes.
So then we have there's the firearm right there.
And it's coming up, right, baby?
It's coming. That's what I was mentioning towards
that shit, Sancho.
That's what I was referring to when it comes to swinging back. Keep in mind, the two officers behind them are chasing this individual. They know that he has a firearm. So the possibility of them shooting him in the back was there because he's armed and he's running towards another officer. The question is he running towards the officer to juke and avoid, or is he running towards the officer with a firearm to do harm?
That may become irrelevant when he lifts that arm.
Right. The arm's lifted, the firearm is clearly in his left hand. This is a situation that is volatile right way. Being a Monday morning, the quarterback is difficult to do when you're seeing that firearm. And then when you see the firearm, you see the arm motion. See, the big thing that I really want to stress with this is, I kind of went too far back. So the question is he A, throwing his arm back to throw the gun away, or is he B, throwing his arm back to shoot the officer? Either way, it doesn't matter either way.
There's no bearing on it at all.
Yeah, he probably should have dropped it if he didn't want to die.
How's this cop going to know in about 0.3 seconds? You know what I mean?
Exactly, or less.
I want to go back to Great Lakes for a minute. Great Lakes, I don't want you to shut up by any means, buddy, because I want to hear your opinions. I don't want you to be open-minded, though. And, don't be so close-minded and think this is what an officer sets out to do.
Hey, I'm smoking.
I'm usually pretty,
he might have been juking, baby. Watch his feet. He might have been trying to juke still, which is dumb. You got a gun. He might have thrown that shit at
threw the vehicle. He threw the gun. Let me kind of play without interruption, slow motion again.
But it don't matter, Joe. He's got a freaking gun in his hand, dude.
Right.
I would agree. You got to shoot a nigga at that. I'm just trying to determine his intent and shit now. But
I can't break down a lot.
I think. Let me tell you what I think. I think he was possibly, now this is my opinion, he was possibly trying to get rid of that fucking gun, but a little too late. Because they already seen him with the gun. The officer already had his gun drawn and already put off a round, pretty much.
And is this possible too, Jeff Sancho, that what he was swinging so hard for, raising that hand so quick, was because he wanted to throw it far?
Absolutely.
Possibly,
and it went a hell of a long ways. It absolutely did. That damn gun ended up probably 100 feet from where they were at.
Yeah, so he probably wasn't trying to shoot the cop then.
I don't think he was trying to shoot the cop. Now, but
it doesn't change anything.
Exactly. It don't change the fact that it was just.
You can't take any chances, right?
He was already fucked. So let's kind of play it uninterrupted. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Right. I did show the footage earlier, Joe, of the freeze frame of the gun in mid motion.
Yeah, so you got it good. I got a screenshot of it. You did well. I see it now.
And well, like the footage earlier was not only of it in his hand, but he was flinging it up in the air, which you'll see in this footage. You'll see the gun flying from the individual's hand. It's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's go.
Okay.
And see, with it flying like that, you don't know if it's flying because he got shot and let go of it, or what he was doing with it. Again,
No, he was throwing it. Don't fly 100 feet unless he was in the process of throwing it.
Agree, disagree. I mean, like I said, nevertheless, he should have done either one.
Viewer discretion is advised. Now they're getting out of the vehicle. The man with a gun was the 911 call, so already, we're already heightened. Emotions already heightened.
Oh, his adrenaline. This cop's adrenaline is probably flowing 10 times over right now.
Yeah, keep in mind they do know the suspect. They do know the individual as well. They've already mentioned they're aware of the individual, so that may play a part in it as well.
Can you play the other part too, that we've seen them in the car and at the home with a bunch of guns and whatnot?
Yeah.
Again, I mean that's critical to what's
Their
going
mind
on.
for the mindset of the cop.
Right. So let's play it.
Wow, he met him quick. He parked in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
Cut him off. I mean, 2 officers were on the other side chasing him.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
They cut the perimeter off.
And I would like what was his handle again? Big
HB.
Balls or yeah, HB. I would like HB to talk about what
like
he
popped him in the chest too.
what he did. What he would have, what HB would have done as an officer before he even got out of the patrol car.
Well, like I said before, I would have grabbed a long gun, but nevertheless, I would have done the same thing.
Right.
It goes back to, I mean, you made the comment about armchair quarterbacking and stuff. That's where Graham versus Connor comes into play, where you can't armchair quarterback what an officer makes a split-second decision to do.
Right, exactly.
I agree with that.
And Joe, you and I were talking a couple weeks ago about qualified immunity, and you did not know that qualified immunity was basically civil cases until we were talking about it.
Right.
And like I said, qualified immunity has nothing to do with it. Graham versus Connor is what protects the officer in a situation like this, and it's what the reasonableness of another officer would do in this situation.
And at some point after this, we should probably discuss the other thing you said, that we all be talking about cops need to carry insurance. You enlightened me that some cops, most cops, good cops carry insurance.
Oh, absolutely. I don't care if you're a good cop, bad cop. Most cops carry their own liability insurance. Like with my agency.
I didn't know that.
That's interesting, right?
Do you see the P, Joe? And this is the first and last time I'm going to ever say, do you see that? But under the word from police, from P, the firearm is being discarded into the air.
Thank you, Sancho. I'll screenshot that too.
Oh,
but
God.
again, no way that cop could have known that fucking quick. Come on.
Let me know when you got it.
I got it. You got it.
There you go. So that is important to show. Now we're going to go back to the fact that this individual has a prior run-in, has the prior run-in.
I'm chilling at the park smoking, by the way, Joe. It's beautiful out here.
It looks very nice.
Under a tree. Chilling, bro.
Hey, Joe, is that your pimp's house?
Oh, wow.
Oh, you suck.
That looks pretty scenic, my guy.
It is. That's why I come up here to smoke, bro.
So the family posted a memorial after he passed away. And the only reason why I'm showing this twice is because they publicly put it out there. Joe, this is the memorial they put out for this individual, Deon K, who has passed away due to being shot in the chest. I'm going to play it now.
All right, my man.
$18 years old, 17 years old, probably at the time of filming this. This time he was 18 years old.
You guys should probably know, I think about this way different than you cats. Every motherfucker that grew up, certainly everybody I know, this is what we did at that age.
Oh, absolutely. Great Lakes know I'm not Officer Oak. It's not just vouch for that.
They will be on a show together to prove that, which they've already
Get me on that show, Sancho.
Well, it's a Leo only show, so we're gonna do half of the Leo is gonna be a couple auditors and cop watchers. Jeff's already advanced to it. We're still going over some other people who we think should be in there. You're on that list.
I'd love for Joe to be on there, but we have to control Joe because Joe likes to interrupt a lot.
Agreed.
Yeah, he
Tell me to
does.
mute my mic. Yes, agreed.
And then Joe likes to say this all the time.
Blow me.
Yeah.
How do you get that soundboard? By the way, I have one through my cell phone. How do you have a soundboard? Is it through like a window you have open?
Amazon.
Stream
Play
Deck.
the full thing, Jeff. Play the full thing. I want to hear the whole
me,
blow.
nigga.
Blow me. That's the whole thing.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button, motherfucker.
Because I'm talented like that, El Sancho.
Stream Deck, you said?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's an awesome piece of equipment, man. It is
pretty
freaking
fun.
awesome piece of equipment.
Joe, let me ask you a very unpopular question coming from a black man.
Yeah.
Why is the question never asked? And this is coming from a law enforcement perspective.
Gotcha. I understand.
Why is the question never asked? And this goes for all these cases. And I'm not saying that they should have been killed for what they were doing, but why is the question never asked? Had they not resisted, the situation would not escalate to what it escalated to.
Because that falls under the category of just comply with my rules and all that. As a man, I believe I had the right to resist. Don't fucking touch me. Stay 5 feet away from me. Don't rap with me.
When it comes to being arrested, though, I'm talking about an actual arrest. When the officer says you're
when
arrested,
it's justified and all of that shit. All right, keep going.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's not just saying it was justified. If an officer tells you you're under arrest, the street is not the place to make that argument.
I would agree you're under arrest, but I'm gonna give it up. I'm gonna put my hands behind my back. I'm gonna keep my mouth running. I want to know what for.
Right.
Because if it's some bullshit, I got a call said somebody. If it's just some bullshit, hey, fuck that.
That's why you have lawyers. I agree. Running your mouth. There's a difference between running your mouth and actually physically actively
No, I was
resisting.
about to go there. You physically hit that nigga in the mouth, and you should get away with it in court if the system is just. If it gives the officer some type of consideration, he must be right over this man. It's flipped backwards.
Right, but that's what the courts are for, not the streets.
I disagree. The court work for the police. We can't go through the court to get anything.
I disagree with that.
Anybody else? Are the police, lawyers, and judges all in cahoots? Anybody else agree with me on that?
I will say justice can be bought.
I agree with that. I agree with that because I see it. I see it every time I go to court. I see it.
Justice can be paid for.
I agree.
Oh, this is very well said, Odin. It is surely a class thing and barely a race thing.
Especially in the country. Hang on. In the country, you know, the good old boy tactic. You know, you go hunting with your damn judge. I mean, you know, you go golfing, you know, with the lawyers and all this other stuff. Even though rednecks don't golf, but you get what I'm saying.
Easy there. I'm a redneck and I golf.
It's easy there.
Okay.
So
redneck golf.
I didn't play the Leo perspective of it from the police chief's side of things. So I kind of want to, Odin, if you want to finish your point, go right to that press conference. It's only a few seconds, Odin. So like, if you want to go on first, go ahead.
No, go ahead and play the.
All right. So it's breaking news. Oh wait. Now I still have the slow mo on.
That won't work, will it?
No, I gotta go normal.
Continuing to follow breaking news out of Southeast D.C. A police officer shot and killed a man. It happened around 4 p.m. on Orange Street. According to Police Chief Peter Newsham, officers were in that area after receiving a tip about guns being in a vehicle.
When they approached the vehicle, some of the folks in the vehicle fled on foot. One of the officers discharged his firearm. We have what we believe to be an adult male that was taken to a local hospital and pronounced dead. And we have recovered 2 guns from the scene of this crime.
Newsham said investigators are working to determine if the victim had a weapon when he was shot.
Well, we already know that because we saw the body.
Yeah, we know what's just that. Yeah.
Do we all agree?
The body can't be an hour ago.
Do we all agree that if he was running and say the weapon was still in his waistband, he cannot be shot? We agree with that front, back, side to side? Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree there totally.
Yeah, yeah, I got you there.
So there's the photo of the handgun allegedly on Deon K at the time he was shot by police. He was
Looks
also
like it looks like the same one he was holding in the
Right.
car when he was in the
It
car.
does. That's the Instagram videos we showed, and we
Yeah.
showed videos of him in a car with multiple people in a car with firearms.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that 911 call does add legitimacy, and I know there's a lot of 911 calls that are fake, and they should be prosecuted for calling in fake 911 calls because they can get somebody shot. But this 911 call, without hearing or seeing the transcript, adds some credence when you're seeing Instagram videos of him holding a similar colored firearm, doing exactly what the 911 call is. I need to address the other individual. Another man was also fleeing responding officers at the time. Marcel Smith, 19 years old, also of Southeast DC, also allegedly had a handgun on him. Smith was arrested and charged for carrying a pistol without a license. Neither of these individuals had a license, of course, being 18, being 18 and 19. These two did not have a permit. This individual, Deontay Brown, was the third individual. Deontay Brown of Southeast DC was arrested and charged with no permit as well. Kay was brought to a local hospital and pronounced dead. They released the body cam as of an hour or so ago.
That no permit carries no fucking weight with me.
No,
That
it
means
don't. Yeah,
I
that
know
don't.
with
That don't mean
society,
nothing.
with
Yeah.
society. Oh yeah, see, he was breaking the law. He's apt and bound to break the law. But to me, that's a bad look on society. You can't, impede a motherfucker right to carry a gun. I don't care what you say. Oh, he was a felony. Whatever the fuck. You can't make up fucking rules, your own rules. And no, he's got to have that fucking right.
I agree. I agree with Joe. I hate to fucking have to have
We really do, right?
permission to carry a sidearm. Now an AR-15, I could see having a
right.
I can at least have that discussion, but
Right.
you got to give me my shit. Like here in the ghetto, I think that's why we're preyed upon so much, and the police like it like that because they prey us on us as well. Everybody know that anybody behaving do not have a gun. It's illegal, and it's been so only the bad guys have it, and they know that. If they can come in the crib, they can kill you, shoot you, because the odds you or someone else defending you and standing up for you are super low. The cops don't give a fuck about you. We are victimized here.
So let me go back. There are riots going on right now with this situation happening. The internal memo, it shows the firearm, 18-year-old Deon K of Southeast DC. It's showing the handgun that was recovered, the picture below. I also want to go towards the other situation with the other individual, 19-year-old Marcel Smith of Southeast DC, was found to be in possession of a handgun. He was arrested and charged for carrying a pistol without a license. And 18-year-old Deontay Brown, as I've already stated, was also arrested and charged with no permit. The photo recovered from Smith can be seen below. So there was 2 guns found. I just showed both guns. This is the first gun, which is all black, as we noted earlier in the stream. And this was the second gun, which had a little bit of a silverish gold tint at the top of it, where the victim, who has been pronounced dead, was in possession of, as we showed in the body cam. Discuss, everybody.
Self-explanatory.
Yes, my mind went somewhere else. It's self-explanatory. Yes, they had a fucking gun, blah, blah, blah. My mind went to, which is why I shut up. I didn't want to change the fucking subject, was if they did, say they're caught cold, just leave the murder out of it. They both were running. They both had guns. They both make those vids, those crazy Facebook vids and all of that shit. What is the punishment? What's the proper punishment for that? I'm interested in what we all think. If there's a punishment at all.
If they do it for glory and showboating, they should lose their rights maybe for half a year of carrying a firearm. I don't know if that came through clear.
I heard half a year for carrying a firearm.
I want to address that cat's comment about the white kid in Kenosha walking towards the cop with the big guns. Do you not see the difference when a kid's walking towards you with his hands in the air and a kid running at you with a gun in his hand and it's coming around towards you?
It was still a great point, right? That nigga had a long gun. I would say that the cat with the pistol was more threatening, but he deserved some attention. The guy with the long gun?
He's walking towards. Kenosha is different. You know the laws in Kenosha. I do,
right. You're right. Ain't like he was in fucking Illinois. You're right.
Right. It's open carry. They're allowed to carry it. The kid had his hands in the air. He's walking in a non-threatening manner.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's the difference. Yeah, it ain't like in Illinois.
I do want to address the protesting because Joe.
He wasn't running either.
Right. I do want to address the protesting because Joe, you're at multiple protests. I do want to hear from Deon K's aunt and kind of get her opinion on what happened and play the full video because there were questions about if there's a protest. There is protests going on. Let's kind of play the full video and get everyone's thoughts on it after.
That they didn't have to kill my nephew. You're right, and my name is Earlene Black.
And your nephew's name?
His name is Deon K.
And is there any information you can tell us that you know about this?
No, only thing I know that he was in the park, and he was leaving the park, and the police shot him in his back. And so all I was told is that
She's talking about the same guy?
Yeah.
tomorrow morning, Mayor Newsom as well as the commander. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. Okay, and remember my name, Paul Tramp. Okay, I don't feed into the negative. Okay.
I just want to know why did they kill my
Don't
nephew?
you get out of here.
With his hands up
This
in
is
the air.
ignorant. She don't live in Ward 8. Yeah.
His hands up in the air. And then
Why
they
don't
gonna
you
shoot
worry
him.
about getting
They
out
gonna
of
shoot
my
him in his
face?
back.
Get your finger out
And
my
they
face.
gonna
You must not have seen the video,
Yeah,
huh?
you a laugh.
No, she didn't see the body cam video.
This was last night.
Get out my face. You ain't gonna live in Ward 8. Tell the truth.
You see, that's what mainstream media does.
Let him get it out first.
I understand her.
Whatever
anyway.
happened, I don't know. I don't know. Put your hand on my hand. Let me get the hell out my face. Well, whatever your name is, get out my
So
face.
sorry. If it weren't
Get
for
out
COVID,
my
I'd know you.
face.
But I'm sorry.
Get out my face.
I'm really, really sorry.
Get out my face. Get out my face. Because if you swing, I promise I'm going to. You better get in my face.
Them cops don't want no shit. I feel sorry for them.
The guardian angels are helping him.
So this is why doing protests and immediately after, without getting the full information, is dangerous.
I would agree it's dangerous, and I talk too fucking much. Yeah, I was right.
Well, it
It's
goes back to
dan-
like Great Lakes also. She was saying, or he was saying, whoever they are, that there was no gun found.
Yeah, that's what media. That's what I said. The mainstream media was talking about. That's all they said. Hey, man shot by police. You know, I don't think they gave the best description about it, and then that fired them up without knowing all the facts. They didn't know all the facts.
Come on, mainstream media, don't lie. Come on now.
Is it shitty that the biggest part of me says, and this is fucked up, but fuck that. They brought this on themselves. Fuck that. They getting what they've been putting out there. Fuck that. They've been writing fake reports and coming up with their own collusion.
Yeah, but two
and
wrongs
nobody
don't
held
make
them
a right.
accountable. Fuck that.
Joe,
Fuck
two
it.
wrongs don't make a right.
No, I'm
Two
not saying. I'm
wrongs.
talking about. No. I'm not saying justifying anything, but I'm saying just the aspect of fate. We're not talking about any people really, but fate. This is chicken. I shouldn't say this, but this is chickens coming home to roost. They fostered an atmosphere, and they see what it's like when people they put out bullshit, and people automatically assume on the cop side. Here's people putting out bullshit on the other side.
Right.
It's shitty. It's horrible. It's even funny. It's so shitty. But you getting a taste of your own medicine, and part of me likes that.
So I'm really curious on polling everybody. We have an eyewitness statement. You know, we saw what Deon say. We saw how.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
With the media, they should be held liable for starting a riot.
I would agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
But Joe, as an activist, which I do consider you an activist compared to more than most, I should say, isn't part of your? I mean, I agree. The media is definitely blown it out. Cops have definitely made mistakes, but isn't it part of your responsibility to also say, "Hey, listen, let's see what comes out first, and not rush to a judgment"?
That is my absolute responsibility. This is me being a child and me being in my fields, and a lot of that. Listen, when dude got shot, when George Floyd got shot, I lost it. I wanted to burn shit for at least 3 fucking days.
I remember.
And with this movement going on, with all these whites and blacks coming together, my emotions are really still weird. I don't want it to end.
Right.
Yeah, and it makes me want to fuck it. Maybe this is the revolution. Now it's not the time to be docile.
So let's play the eyewitness account from somebody. Let's see what's going on.
Actually servicing a group of students, and we heard shots fired, and we came over to see different police, and we found out a 17-year-old was shot by the police officer.
And do we have any details from the community on what happened?
One thing is the young man was unarmed.
Oh.
That's one detail.
There's your
and
eyewitness.
Everyone is
Wow.
heartbroken right now.
See, that's what
And
gets them
disbelief that
started
a
right
police
there.
officer would take
Yes.
a young man's life.
Something will
I mean,
burn, right?
and
Some
this is
people were saying
this is
he was
mainstream
shot in the
media
back. Is
right
that
here.
something can be verified, or is it too early to say?
I guess it's too early to say. Because there's been some things where he was
He's
shot
doing
in the
his
back,
job
and then
good.
you also heard that he was shot in his chest. So it's too early to say.
Okay. And I understand that you're with Guns Down Friday. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we cater to neighborhoods that are affected by youth homicide, suicide, and mental health illnesses. And we just happen so crazy because we just happen to be in this neighborhood and this.
Oh, that is absolutely. That's why we riot. That's why we protest. When you hear stories like this and eyewitness accounts like this,
Yeah.
you get hit in your feels, Joe.
I would agree, right? I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Crazy.
You know, and someone made the comment that cops don't care. If cops didn't care, why would they go rushing into a neighborhood?
Right.
It obviously was a black neighborhood. It was a white cop rushing into it to protect that neighborhood.
Right.
Who thinks they would have to protect that neighborhood? Who's under that assumption? Those
Why
are
else
the
is he there?
overseer.
Why is he
Those
there?
are because those are the overseer. Their job is to keep the riffraff away from the good guys. They don't want to be there. They certainly being in the hood
that's
is the
total
worst
bullshit.
shit you could do. They are that's officer, overseer. I believe that's just a degradation of the same word.
I disagree, buddy. Like I said, I know many Chicago cops. I know cops all around the U.S.
And you know I do as well.
Well, that's why we have that Leo stream coming up. So let's kind of go back.
I do. But I said, cops do care, and like I said, or they wouldn't go rushing in.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm wrong.
They absolutely care.
Well,
yes.
hang on.
Wait. Don't change my point. You're right that they do care. They are humans and they are loving and all of that. But I think my point still applies. Their job, the mandate from the people above,
Yes.
they are overseers. They are not something beautiful to help you. I don't see that at all.
Right. So let's go back to the emotions from last night, right after the shooting, and kind of knowing that we know now with the body cam, kind of point the difference
It
out.
only matter that by law, if I run in your house, you have your weapon in your hand, and I go like this, by fucking law, you cannot shoot. You hear me? You cannot shoot. And I'm tired of that shit, because my tax money is paid for that young man to get murdered.
Wow.
Assassinated. I'm gonna use
This
that word,
is karma,
assassinated, because that's the fuck we've been getting. We've been getting assassinated, and I'm tired of it. So guess what? It's gonna get nasty before it get any nicer. Because guess what? We're gonna get tired. 400 years, these bastards, the man trying to break us. Y'all can't break us. We already battling each other. We're trying to get these kids to stop killing each other. But then you turn around, about 4 dead people, black people in a week, in the land, in the hands of the people that supposed to have been protecting us. We tired of it. Then the white people that is out here that's speaking up, later on they get bashed by them little bastards. Oh, you a nigga lover. So what? Let them be a nigga lover. Let them be that. Let them be that. But guess what? So all my black people out there, you need to go the fuck out there and vote November 3rd. You need to get early voting in because they already tampering with the shit. They sending you on shit with your name, misspell everything. Check everything and get out there early. Hey, we gotta stop. They basically, we are paying for them to assassinate us. It's not right. They gotta be stopped.
You know, it's sad that there was so much misinformation and he's so off there. But you see his heart is in the right direction. At least I saw some good shit there too.
I think his heart's in the right direction. But again, know the facts. And unfortunately, you incite rage where rage is not justified.
That's what the cops do. They don't know the facts. They just roll with their guy. They've been doing it and getting away with it forever.
I disagree
is karma.
with that. I disagree, bro. Are there bad cops? Absolutely. Do cops make mistakes? Absolutely. Should cops be held accountable? Absolutely. But when a cop is justified, the community needs to rally around that and say, listen, this kid came running in with a gun. What's he supposed to do?
I would agree with that shit. I was talking about more in a larger aspect of that shit.
No,
is there a good cop in Chicago? Even one? I'm asking.
I know many of them. Yes.
Okay, that good cop for sure in Chicago knows that everybody in his fucking station and the one next door
Right.
writes bogus reports, and
Right.
he has not taken down 100 officers. How can he be a good cop?
For the sake of his own head on the chopping block. That's what I'm thinking.
You can also say
Whoa.
that about auditors.
My biggest fear is, and I'm going to talk about something else along the same lines, is that Oklahoma cop blocked Floyd. I like Floyd. I think Floyd's a good kid, but his heart is so in the wrong direction. He's going to end up just like this.
I'm sorry, a motorbike went past with his fucking radio up. You say that again?
Floyd, the kid from Oklahoma. I like him. I think he's a very articulate kid. I think he's got a lot of future, but unfortunately, if he keeps acting the way he's acting, he's going to end up like this.
I mean, if he doesn't have a firearm in his hand, that's kind of a different conversation.
Not really.
Right. Were you talking absent a firearm? He's
even absent a firearm. If you come running at a cop with your hands in your pocket and you pull out a cell phone,
right,
the cop can be justified in shooting you.
I disagree.
The cop doesn't. See, that's where you're wrong. Or I mean, if it's happened in the past where someone pulls out a cell phone and it stands like it's a weapon, where cops have shot people.
It happens. Listen, a guy could ride past right now with a bomb in his trunk and blow everybody up. That happens. Maybe not so much here, but that happens. Therefore, they should be able to search every car, blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing. If I got my hand in my pocket, you shouldn't be a cop if, damn it, you don't know people keep their hands in their pocket. And no, I don't have to take it off because you're afraid. Fuck you. Get a new job.
No, what I'm saying is you come run. Floyd doesn't come just walking by you nonchalant like nothing's going on. Floyd's very aggressive when he comes at people.
Right.
That cop in Indiana had every right to tase him that day, minimum.
I don't remember when he got tased. I don't know. It ain't.
No, I'm saying outside the fire department when he got arrested or detained. He was arrested.
He just got arrested again last night.
Night
before,
yeah. A couple weeks ago, he was in Indiana with Josh and Chuck Bronson.
Yeah.
He came rushing at a cop with his hand in his pocket. Cop had his gun drawn. And
that's some dangerous shit.
It is, and you're also he's making threats, and it's like people are in the misconception that a cop has to be struck to react. We don't have to be struck to react. If we can articulate why we acted the way we did, that's all we have to do.
Oh, you guys get away to murder every day if that's what you're saying. You can say he was 17 feet away and I shot him, and everybody think, well, it's a bad shoot. No. Some scientist is going to come out and say if he's on PCP, he can cover that distance in a half of a second. The human reaction is only this. He had to do that shit. I've seen that exact defense hold up and work.
But
they got a million ways to commit fucking murder.
That's where Graham v. Connor protects officers. Except if you never read the case, read Graham versus Connor.
I haven't. I'm not familiar with it.
Basically, in a nutshell, what happened was a guy pulls up to a Quickie Mart, 7-Eleven, whatever, runs into a store. His friends wait in the car. Goes to the cooler, grabs a orange juice. He's actually having a diabetic episode, but his behavior is not describing that. So he goes to the cooler, grabs an orange juice. There's a line at the cash register. He throws the orange juice down and comes running out of the store. Officer across the street appears that he actually was robbing the store. Cop does a traffic stop. In the process of traffic stop, the victim starts fighting with the officer, saying, "I'm having a diabetic episode, blah, blah, blah." He gets hurt. Goes all the way to Supreme Court. Supreme Court rules that the reasonableness of what the officer had observed based on his training and experience would lead any other officer to believe the exact same situation, that the store was being robbed. So that's what protects officers, where you can't armchair quarterback what's decided in a split second.
I hear you, and that's a good fucking example too. It's solid as fuck, right?
Right. So I mean, police were. And someone else posted earlier. If you guys think you can do a better job, by all means, make a difference. From the inside. I
would love to beat it. Leave. I would love to. I need the cops to leave me alone, and let me handle it. Give me my gun. I think me and my people would do a billion times better job. So
how about work and chop?
How about work and chop?
How did that work and chop?
Work and shop?
Work and chop out in Portland.
Workout and workout. How did that work out? Yes, exactly. You said we want to do a better job. We should give it a
right, but it failed miserably. That's what he's asking.
Yes, it failed miserably, but we didn't have a good fucking attempt. We didn't do it right. You can't fucking kill it over that shit. You know, cops killed a motherfucker. He had a bad shoot. You don't kill that. Give me an honest attempt.
No, what I'm saying is, you want to make a difference, become a cop, make a difference to change from the inside.
No, you nigga. I'm sorry. I'm so emotional. I'm sorry.
I know, buddy.
I'm
That's all
taking a
good.
lot of shit out on you.
I know, it's all good.
Yes, but you cannot become a cop as it is now. Your job becomes to see the overseer and keep the slaves in line. So through the gate, that shit's irrational. So what a cop must be is defined as something else. You got to be a cat from the community that knows these kids love them. It's got to start there.
That I agree with. I think we definitely need to get out of the cop cars more. I think you have to do foot patrols more.
I
Get to
tell
know
them
your
that every
community.
day.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I tell them that every fucking day. And when they're out the car, I tell them it's good to see you outside the car.
Right.
I encourage them every fucking day.
That is the one thing the local law enforcement's definitely got away from. I mean, you having actual beat cops.
I got a 5-minute warning. Jeff actually has a big show tonight at 8. I have a big show at 11, and I have an interview with Taco Josh at 4 in an hour and a half. So 5-minute warning, y'all.
And I have to get back to work before Joe files a complaint on me too. For
Right.
You
got all that shit I've been through. I've never filed a complaint. You know why? I think the system is unjust. I wouldn't put my enemy in the system. And these are just regular people. When they go home, good family, good moms, they just don't see what's going on. I cannot really hold them. I do not want to hurt them, and I would not put them in the system.
I respect that. Unfortunately, your buddy Josh, he thinks saturating with the complaints is the way to go, and I disagree. It actually dilutes legitimate complaints.
A lot of them do. We can't just blame Josh, bro.
No, I know, but he's one of the. I don't like Josh. I've made no secret of that, and I'd say it to his face. But like I said, when you start making 50 frivolous complaints because a cop didn't give you his badge number quick enough, all that does, those complaints stay in an officer's file for the rest of his career.
Yes. So I understand the philosophy, but
if you see 50 bullshit complaints, the one good one gets buried.
Yes, I understand that philosophy of sue, file, and complain. I understand that, but I think there are different avenues, different ways to skin a cat, and I try to give everybody room to do their own.
Right.
I agree. I mean, that's why I respect you. I respect Jeff. And I enjoy debating with you guys. We don't make it personal.
Me too. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, same here, bro. Like I said, I'll talk to you guys any day of the week. I'll go in any Jeff's panels anytime.
Right on.
So I'm not afraid to say what I do. I'm not afraid.
And that's what you need. Listen, here's the difference between you and me. I keep cutting people off.
That's good,
is that anyone with your knowledge and shit, they are worthless to me if they don't have the courage to fucking voice their opinions and stand on that shit. If they fold too quick, that cat is worthless. And I'm sorry to say that, but he's damn near worthless. Niggas like you are rare.
I agree. It comes with age. I mean, I've been doing this 17 years. I'm not a young kid anymore. People like Josh, people like Charles Bronson or Chuck Bronson, they don't intimidate me. I've dealt with them in the field before. I've dealt with subsets in the field before. I do my job. I do my job within the law. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to show you respect. I don't have to be nice to you. I don't have to give you customer service, but I'm going to give you respect.
Right.
So
as long as you put that respect up there, who can argue with that, bro?
Right.
That's two men that don't even like each other. If you put that forward, we'll have no fucking problem.
No, exactly.
Hey, we got the 5-minute warning. That means No Name gets up and shakes her a little bit, right?
Does that mean you on? What the fuck are you doing? Jeff, because I don't know if my battery's charged and all of that shit.
I think Jeff wants up for the spank bank.
No Name.
That's what Odin does to me, man. I just had to bring it on.
That's what APM is for.
I don't have no nickels. I can't help you. What?
Joe has the nickels for you.
No nickels.
Also, anarchist, no, he was not killed over a $3 OJ. He got hurt while being arrested over the orange juice.
Oh, that was dope. He got killed. Let's go there then.
Yeah.
Let's go there.
No, he was not killed. He was not killed.
Let's change this and let's go with a different hypothetical here.
He has to get back to work, Joe.
You got 3 minutes. You gonna start another conversation? Hang on. We got 3 minutes. You gonna strike up another one? Are you serious?
Let's say a woman. She gets pulled over for a cracked tail light. Guy tells her, keep your hands on the steering wheel. Fuck you, I ain't got to do that. She reaching the purse. I'm gonna give you my goddamn license. Pop, pop, pop. He shoots her 3 times. You got some motherfuckers that say, hey, he gave her an order to keep her hands on there. She moves, she's going to purse. She could have a gun. And you got niggas like me and Antichrist saying, you do not get to even have that encounter. If you got to kill a motherfucker and make rules when you can kill a motherfucker over a cracked tail, like stay your ass at home.
So that exact scenario happened a couple of years ago. The officer was arrested. It was an Australian woman in an alley. I can't remember what the call was, but they were responding to a call. She was actually the victim, and they were in an alley, and the cop heard something smack the back of his car. He thought it was a gunshot. He shoots the lady for no reason whatsoever. And he was a Somalian kid. I believe it was in either Detroit or Minnesota. He was a Somalian officer, and he lit her up for no reason at all. She had no weapons in her hand. She wasn't reaching for anything. He was arrested and prosecuted as he should have been.
But check that out. Let's take out that you heard a bang and all of that shit. I mean, under just regular rules right now, a motherfucker that's been reaching for his fucking wallet, his cell phone, a motherfucker I thought I saw a gun in his hand, it turned out to be cell phone. Countless cops get off with that. You cannot even be allowed to kill motherfuckers and be wrong. It's better you get shot than be wrong and kill a motherfucker.
I disagree with that. It happened in South Carolina a couple of years ago, and this was a horrible one. A state trooper in South Carolina pulled a kid over in a gas station, tells the kid to get in his car, kid's out of the car, tells the kid to reach back in his car to get his license. The kid reaches back in his car. For whatever reason, the officer freaks out and shoots the kid. Again, officer was charged, convicted.
Yes, and you know there are countless what a motherfucking more that where the officer gets off. Famous fucking
You're right,
cases.
but there's always more to the story than what is leaked out or what's shared. Look at all the misinformation's come out regarding this already, and
which is why you can't even allow them to kill a motherfucker over a ticket. I mean a broken shit, a windshield. If that's what you stop them for, and them niggas drive the fuck off and be like, "Fuck you, blow me," you let them go. You cannot commit murder.
what's in the trunk? Is there a dead body in the trunk?
I don't know. Is there a bomb in the car in front of me? Do I get to go search?
Put a badge on. If I can articulate, yes. Again, I have to have articulation. And see, that's the one thing that cracks me about Josh. Josh always, Josh always.
Great
screams
show,
out.
guys. I could start up a live stream so Joe and
No, I didn't even get back to work anyway. We'll
Yeah, I
continue
gotta
later on.
check batteries and all of that shit.
Yeah.
It's okay. We got 2 minutes to go. Anyone got any plugs? I know I want to plug for Jeff. Jeff,
It's a great show. Joe just interrupts everybody.
right?
Fuck you.
Joe's better than usual.
So tonight, 8 p.m. We got Jeff is live. Jeff is here is live. Drug and alcohol addiction at 8 p.m. Following that, 11 p.m. I am doing a mental health awareness stream, interviewing multiple health professionals in the field of mental health. So tonight is going to be a jam-packed night. Joe, did you release anything new on your
Actually,
channel?
I'm working on something right now. I got the greatest moment. I can't say it in a minute. I don't want to rob people of their time. And I just learned how to edit. My last vid was the first one I edited. I think I'm putting together something spectacular.
Good shit,
What do
man.
you think about a guy that's got over 20,000 subscribers, don't know how to edit a fucking video?
Doesn't that say something about what he's going to do now that he added this to his repertoire?
Damn.
But he can pack a mean bowl.
Joe,
Hey, Joe, why don't you release that video on my channel?
El
Don't make me
Sanchez,
crack a joke.
El Sanchez, you getting help tonight? Finally.
I have some mental health professionals that I'm interviewing tonight. Yeah.
Hey, I have a drug and alcohol addict that's going to help my show tonight. And you're talking to him.
I'm about to say you got another one over here. At least drugs.
I'm just saying, I don't need no professional. I am one.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to plug before we
I
blow
am
up?
good. I would like to
Thanks,
say,
man.
Sancho,
Great
another job well done, and you catch sharp in me. I thank you guys so much.
Great show. Joe, don't be late.
So was the shooting justified? Yes
Be
or
late.
no?
I say yes. I say yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, everybody. I'm heartbroken about the protests going on. I'm heartbroken about the amount of carnage being caused over this. Last night it was damage galore, and I just think at the end of the day we gotta wait until the facts come out. 10-second warning. Anything else? Anyone else?
Hey,
I'm
Joe, don't
heartbroken
be
that-
late, baby. 8 o'clock.
You
I'm
don't have
heartbroken.
number, you better text me
Get
at
every
7:30.
side of
Make
the
sure my
story.
battery charge.
I'm heartbroken that a young man lost his life, but he made that decision.
I love that.